really they think there's nothing wrong with the amounts. Wait.
During the interview, Koch defended
Also, Scott Jackson put $134,000 that was saved this fiscal year, and that's not what I came up with. So I just want to go through it with you real quick. So right now, the mayor is asking for $285,000, and according to the article, they're going off the figure that he is currently making $159,900. So when we subtract that, that is $134,000. But there is also the salaries of the city councilors. So if we take that, they're $44,500 their new ask, and then we subtract their current salary, that's $14,700 per counselor. So that comes to $132,000. So I believe the total savings should be $132,300 plus $134,100.
During the interview, Koch defended the $285,000 salary. He said that the average person does not understand the complexity of the job and compared that salary to the salaries of elected municipal officials.
This isn't a criticism, but I don't think the average person understands the complexity of the job, the CEO aspect of the job. They see you out and about at events cutting ribbons. You know it's several thousand employees. It's a $500 million budget. You're making decisions every day. We hire, we fire, we have investors in. We're working for pro-development in the right parts of the city. There's a lot to it. And I don't think people appreciate that, because it's always been a little strange to me that we can talk about a superintendent being at $350,000. Nobody would say boo. A police or fire chief could be $280,000. Nobody would say boo. Town managers a third or a quarter the size of Quincy are at $250,000, $275,000. Nobody says boo. The city of Cambridge, the city manager's salary is $325,000, and the mayor is $125,000. They're two separate jobs. Worcester is the same thing, two separate jobs. In Quincy, we do both. And I know a number of these people that have been active despise me personally. I get it. In reality, we should be judged on the merits. Quite frankly, I say this with all humility, but our administration has produced. We have produced. I don't care if you look at the schools, the parks, investment in roads, infrastructure, pick a category. The first senior center, the first legitimate track, I can go on and on. It was talked about for a long time, but never happened. We've gotten the stuff done.
It's morning now. You'd think the mayor was trying to start a mayor union, the way he talks about this. He can't make up his mind about how he feels. He said earlier in the interview that it's not about the money, and then he repeated that nice advice that his dad gave him. Public servants make less money. Full stop. The president, governors, mayors. All these positions have CEO aspects, and it is not reflected in their salaries, at least not in comparison to private industry counterparts. The mayor goes on to mention how much he has produced, and then he lists categories that are Mayor 101, infrastructure, roads, a walking track. But he doesn't mention the debt the city has taken on. The crux of the mayor's argument for the crazy raise is that town managers of smaller cities make more money than the mayor. And then the mayor loves to point to Cambridge, because that city has a highly paid town manager and then a lesser paid mayor. Do you know what else Cambridge has? Very little debt and a perfect credit rating from every ratings agency. All the accomplishments the mayor likes to mention in Quincy happened as our city spent money it doesn't have. One last thing. If you were at the city council meeting where this was discussed and voted on, you would have heard that this is not about the man. It's about the position.
That are not supporters not being in support of any raise. So I decided to take, put it in my own lens and really look at what the position I think should be valued at.
Experience, like responsibility, was much greater than what is before this body. But again, I just want to reiterate that this is about the position.
It's not about the person in the office. It's about looking at the salary and thinking to myself, as we focus more on the process and the legacy we're leaving behind for process and not talk about the person, because at the end of the day, we're all going to be gone at some point.
The pragmatic term that I'm looking at is that the position itself calls for an adjustment. And I think today's number may not make sense. But in 10 years from now, I think...
Position. But then the arguments that are made are about the accomplishments of the man. So if you believe that the mayor has done well, keep in mind that we have no idea if the next mayor will be as effective. He is saying pay the next mayor what I should have made, or he's saying he deserves a bonus.
What this looks like a little bit to me is a bonus.
Any approved pay rate?
There are not bonuses in government work. I'm not a resume snob. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing stopping Mayor Koch from going on and becoming a town manager and making the salary he wants. But he keeps running for mayor here. He likes being mayor here. He wants to be our mayor. He wants the cachet of mayor where he answers to no one, but he wants to be paid like a city manager, a hired professional who must answer to elected leaders such as city or town councils.